Wow, can you imagine? Brits even tried ski jumping, leaving the national record blank. Ridiculous. Eddie couldn't help but grin at this discovery, thinking if he just scores a little in the upcoming competition, he could burst through the doors of the Olympics. So he packed up and decided to dash to Germany for his ski jumping adventure. When his dad learned he pursued dreams again, he flew into a rage as if electrocuted. Years of chasing knowledge had left the family finances in shambles. Dad was adamant about not spending a dime on his son's unrealistic Olympic dream, but Mom saw things differently. She believed Eddie's passion was worth encouraging and thought this plan seemed more feasible, so while his parents were distracted, Eddie rushed out the door. However, Dad wasn't done yet and quickly chased after him, seriously asking 2 questions. Did you never have dreams as a kid? Of course I did, but I didn't express them with a stone. You never said anything. Well, what was that? That was a stone. Dad shook his head in defeat. He thought he had seasoned his son with wisdom to avoid potholes in life, only to realize at this moment that some pits are unavoidable. Upon arriving in Germany, Eddie's savings vanished like a shooting star. He couldn't afford high venue fees. Fortunately, the camp needed a waiter. Eddie gladly accepted, solving his living expenses and offering free venue use. Talk about hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. He was on cloud 9. He started his grueling training, but standing in front of the towering jump, he finally understood why the Brits avoided this. The 90-meter height loomed like a mountain, as if it was taunting him. Come on, give it a jump. He started at 15 meters, thinking he'd tumble like a chicken, but surprisingly, he landed flawlessly on his feet. His confidence skyrocketed as he geared up for 40 meters, but as he zipped down the track, he grasped the true meaning of jumping and flying. Sudden weightlessness panicked him, and he crashed hard into the snow. Fortunately, it was nothing serious, just a bit of physical movement. The kind-hearted landlady kindly advised him to find a professional coach. She pointed to a Norwegian coach in blue, and Eddie dashed over to him. But the Norwegian coach mockingly responded, "Buddy, you should have started dancing by now." Rejected but not defeated, Eddie climbed back up to the 40-meter jump. Without guidance, he had no choice but to fall repeatedly to find the answers. The once smooth track soon turned into a graveyard of crashes, which upset the maintenance guy to know, "You're the real jewel of my track. What a great dog." The old wolf was a well-known drunkard around here, stumbling through life like a dog. And when he took too long to speak, Eddie got fired up. But after a chance encounter with the boss lady, he learned Old Wolf's true identity. Eddie's attitude flipped 180 degrees. Turns out, Old Wolf was the star of the US ski team. He broke records left and right, the darling of the crowd, only to be kicked out by the team for his wild lifestyle and squandered talent. This news hit Eddie like a bolt from the blue. He immediately sought out Old Wolf, hoping to soak up some of his expertise. Although Old Wolf didn't have right reject Eddie's request, he was too busy wasting his life away. Eddie clung to him like a lifeline, hoping to learn a few tricks of the trade. But this duo was a real train wreck, attracting laughs and sneers from everyone around. They couldn't understand why Eddie would learn from a drunk, nor did they believe Old Wolf could still teach anyone anything. Old Wolf's rage ignited like a wildfire as he warned Eddie to protect his watch. Then, like a whirlwind, he charged at his opponent, landing an incredibly powerful punch, but the foe dodged it with ease. Suddenly, the Norwegian coach appeared and knocked them both down with a single punch, leaving Old Wolf out cold. When he woke up, he found Eddie still standing guard, his eyes filled with determination. Old Wolf felt a strange warmth surge through him and decided to take Eddie to the Norwegian team's base to set out on their wild training adventure. Using every possible tool, he taught Eddie how to move in the air, and with a little liquid courage, he insisted on showcasing his own skills to Eddie. Eddie watched as Old Wolf climbed to the 90-meter platform. It felt like a kick to his heart. Old Wolf, fearless, lit a cigarette, savoring peace and freedom. Then he leaped like a brave eagle, diving straight down. He crashed into the snow, creating a spectacle like shooting stars across the night, and embraced the sky with all his might. It's a game for the brave ones. Only the bravest can join in. Eddie sat in awe, had never seen such a breathtaking performance. Old Wolf landed gracefully, like the brightest star in the night sky, and slipped away with elegance, while Eddie remained, feeling like a forsaken shadow, unable to forget the allure of ski jumping. That night etched itself in his heart, an unforgettable impression. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight washed over the snow, Eddie stood at the 40-meter jump with eagerness bubbling inside him. If you enjoyed this show, don't forget to like and subscribe.